My name is Kevin Villegas. I'm the Director of Student Involvement and Leadership Programs. My experience at Messiah as a student, when I came here as a first-year student, I transferred in from being in the Marine Corps for 4 years. And I got here after J-term in 1995, and I quickly made friends with a young woman who was in the International Student Association, and she and I started dating. And it was really interesting because for the first time I felt like I didn't really have to choose my culture, choose who I was, because I grew up bicultural. My father is from the Philippines and my mother is European American. And so when I would spend time growing up with my mom's family, I never felt like I quite fit in there because just because of the way I looked and my last name. And so I never felt like I was fully white, you would say. I didn't speak Tagalog, I didn't really care for the food, I didn't really understand the culture, and so I looked different there. So I never really found, I was always confused as to who I was. And so once I got to Messiah and spent time with people from all different cultures who were very comfortable with who they were, it was a safe place for me to kind of explore my own identity, my racial identity. And so that's what I did there, and it was really quite transformative for me to really come to grips with. I don't really have to pick whether I'm white or whether I'm Asian. I'm both, and I should celebrate those things. And so that's what I experienced with that group at Messiah. It was June of 2011. I was living out in Los Angeles, California, and I had lost my full-time job. And at that time, unemployment in LA County was over 11%, and I was sending out resumes and cover letters and just wasn't hearing anything back at all. Not having a full-time job, it enabled me to really focus on my graduate studies. I was finishing up a seminary, so I was really able to focus on that. But when I wasn't finding a job and I had a family to support, I felt like God was kind of drying up the brook, you know, like with the story of Elijah, and the ravens stopped bringing food. And so I felt like, you know, maybe this is it. Maybe this season in California is over and I need to look back east. And I thought, well, I enjoyed working at Messiah. I think they enjoyed me. I think they'll take me back. So I went on Messiah's website, and there was a position open called Director of Church Relations and Volunteer Programs. And I read the job description. I said, yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but I think I could do this job. I need a job. So I was going to apply for it, but I procrastinated. And then the date of the deadline for the application came, and I went online. And when I came online again, there was another job posted called Director of International Student Programs. Picked up the phone. I called the Associate Dean of Students, Doug Wood, and I said, hey, Doug, I'm thinking about applying for this position. What do you think? And he encouraged me to apply. I did. At this point, it was now January of 2012. I applied for the position. I ended up coming on campus in May of 2012 to interview, and was offered the position later that month. I graduated from seminary in June of 2012, and a week later I was on campus starting the position. Stepping into that role, Director of International Student Programs, I felt like I had come full circle in a lot of ways, that I was able to then give back to a group of students who had kind of affected me. Not those particular students, but a group of students that their presence on campus kind of had an impact on me. But last year I did have the privilege and the opportunity to fill in as the interim chair of the diversity committee, because Dr. Bernardo Michael, who chairs that committee, normally he was on sabbatical, so I was asked to fill in for him, and it was really enriching. I learned a lot about just a lot of the issues that impact diversity efforts and inclusive excellence on our campus, and so I was really grateful to kind of learn through that experience. My experience as a student impacted me because of just my heart for making all students feel welcome, understanding that all students are going through identity development, and some are going through racial identity development. And so I think all my experiences come to bear on the work that I do now, and it's hard to separate myself from any of the experiences that I had. And so I like to think that all my experiences, even my failures, even my shortcomings, they come to bear on the work that I do with students and how they develop here.